So, have you ever looked up at the hazy, kind of orange night sky in Chennai and wondered, is it actually possible for an absolute beginner with just some basic camera gear to escape the city and capture those breathtaking, magazine quality shots of the Milky Way? Well, you might be surprised by the answer. Welcome to This Explainer. I am super excited to be your guide today because we are embarking on the ultimate urban explorer's quest to the stars. As you'll see, you really don't need a massive telescope or a multi-million rupee observatory to photograph our galaxy. In fact, all you need is a standard Nikon D7500, a basic kit lens, and the specific techniques we're going to dive into today. All right, here's our roadmap. First, we'll look at escaping light pollution. Then our essential gear setup, exact camera and focus settings, capturing light and dark frames, stacking and editing, and finally, a few common beginner mistakes to avoid. Let's jump right into step one. Escaping Chennai's light pollution. Okay, look, there is a stark, totally unavoidable reality here. You simply cannot shoot the Milky Way from within Chennai city limits. The heavy urban light pollution literally washes out all the faint light of the stars. But hey, here's the fantastic news. You only need to drive about 2 to 4 hours away to find these pristine, dark sky havens. Places like Yelagiri, the beautifully remote Javadu Hills, or even driving south down the East Coast Road well past Mahabalipuram. These spots will put you right into the dark zones we absolutely need for this to work. Location is really only half the battle, though. Timing is absolutely everything. You're going to want to aim for the peak Milky Way season, which is roughly between April and September for us here in Tamil Nadu. And this is totally crucial. It must be a moonless night. You have to plan your trip during a new moon week. Seriously, even a tiny sliver of moonlight acts like a giant sky lamp, and it will completely ruin your contrast. To plan this out perfectly, grab some of these fantastic free apps like Stellarium, PhotoPills, and the Light Pollution Map. They'll help you pinpoint exactly where and when those skies will be at their darkest. Moving right along to section 2, our essential astrophotography gear setup. Do you notice what's missing here? No massive tracking mounts, no wildly expensive observatory lenses, just your standard Nikon D7500 paired with that everyday 18 to 140 millimeter kit lens, which, believe it or not, is completely capable of capturing the cosmos. Now, the absolute mandatory requirement here is a sturdy tripod. Your camera is going to be staring up at the sky, gathering light for quite a while, so that tripod needs to be rock solid and properly leveled. Oh, and definitely bring a spare battery. It's an absolute lifesaver, unless you want your night to end way too early out in the dark. All right, section 3. This is a big one. Exact camera and focus settings. I want you to think of your camera's sensor like a bucket that's meant to catch light. We need to perfectly configure that bucket to collect every single drop of starlight possible. So, here is your ultimate settings cheat sheet. First, set your camera mode to M for manual. Then, zoom your lens all the way out to its widest focal length, which is 18 millimeters. Open your aperture as wide as it can possibly go. For this specific lens, that's f3.5. Next, crank your ISO to 3200 to make the sensor nice and sensitive. You might tweak this ISO between 1600 and 6400 later based on your initial test shots, but 3200 is a great starting point. Make sure your image format is set to RAW, which means uncompressed image data, also known as NEF on Nikon. And finally, set your white balance somewhere between 3500 and 4000 Kelvin. That's going to give you a really natural, cool night sky aesthetic. Now, beyond those basic exposure settings, we also need to dive into the menus and toggle a few specific features on that D7500. First off, turn off vibration reduction, or VR, on your lens. When your camera is totally locked down on a tripod, VR can actually induce these tiny micro movements that will blur your stars, and we don't want that. Also, turn off long exposure noise reduction and completely disable auto ISO. We want total manual control here. Next up, we absolutely need to turn on exposure delay mode or simply activate a 2-second self-timer. Why? Well, because the physical act of pressing the shutter button with your finger literally shakes the camera. The timer ensures absolutely zero camera shake at the exact moment the photo is taken. You might have noticed I left shutter speed off of our earlier cheat sheet. And that's because of this concept right here, the 500 rule. Since the Earth is constantly rotating, if we leave the camera shutter open for too long, the stars are going to blur into little lines across the sky, which we call star trails. To keep the stars perfectly sharp and pinpoint, we use a bit of math. We divide the number 500 by our focal length, which is 18 millimeters, multiplied by the D7500's 1.5 crop factor. We have to add that crop factor because its sensor is smaller than a full-frame camera. This math gives us about 18.5.
Therefore, to be safe, our shutter speed must be strictly locked between 15 and 18 seconds. Do not shoot any longer than that. Okay, so your settings are perfectly dialed in. But focusing in pitch black darkness? Yeah, that can feel completely impossible. If you leave the camera on autofocus, the lens will just hunt back and forth and completely fail. You literally have to switch your lens to manual focus. Then, pop open your live view screen on the back of the camera, scan around and find the absolute brightest star you can spot on that screen, and use your camera's magnifying glass button to digitally zoom all the way in on it. Finally, just slowly, gently rotate the manual focus ring on your lens until that star shrinks into the tiniest, sharpest pinprick of light possible. Oh, and a quick warning here. Do not just twist the lens to the infinity symbol printed on the barrel. That symbol is almost never perfectly accurate for astrophotography. Always trust your eyes on the screen.
That brings us to section 4, capturing light in dark frames.
So you've used your Stellarium app, you've pointed your camera directly at the Milky Way core, and it's time to gather the data. Now, the secret here is that you don't just want one photo. You want between 15 and 25 identical consecutive shots. We call these light frames. Basically, once you hit the shutter, you fire off 15 to 25 long exposures back to back without moving the camera, without bumping the tripod, and definitely without changing a single setting. This gathers an immense amount of that incredibly faint starlight data.
Wait, don't pack up your gear just yet. Right after you finish taking those 25 light frames, you need 10 to 15 of these. These are called dark frames. So how do you take a dark frame? You leave all your exact camera settings identical, but you literally put the lens cap on. Yep, you are going to take 10 to 15 photos of pure blackness. I know you might feel a little crazy standing out in the dark taking pictures of a lens cap, but here's the science behind it. Your camera sensor actually generates heat and digital noise during those long 18-second exposures. These dark frames map out that exact thermal noise pattern, which our editing software will later use to surgically subtract the noise from our final starry image. It's a total game changer. Now for the really fun part, section 5, stacking and editing the stars. Let's be totally honest with each other for a second. The raw preview screen on the back of your camera while you are standing out in the Javadu Hills is gonna look a bit underwhelming. It's probably just gonna look like a dark, slightly grainy sky. But don't panic, that is completely normal. The real magic happens later, back home on your computer. You load all your light frames and all your dark frames into completely free stocking software like Sequitur for Windows or Cyril. This software brilliantly aligns the stars, stacks those 25 light images perfectly on top of each other, uses your dark frames to mathematically eliminate the digital grain, and then outputs one massive, highly detailed master file in seconds. Next, you take that stacked master file and drop it right into an editing tool. Again, free tools like Raw Therapy or even Lightroom Mobile work wonderfully here. You'll want to increase the overall contrast, pull down those overly bright highlights, and lift up the dark shadows. That's what really reveals the space dust. Do some final tweaks to your white balance and apply just a touch of noise reduction. And then, suddenly, boom. That faint, hazy band you saw on your camera screen absolutely erupts into the vibrant, colorful, detailed core of the Milky Way galaxy right before your eyes. Finally, let's hit section 6, common beginner mistakes to avoid. You've worked incredibly hard to plan this trip, drive away from Chennai, and set up your gear in the dark. So please, protect all that hard work and watch out for these traps. Absolutely do not shoot during moonlight. Remember to actually flip the physical switch and turn off vibration reduction on your lens. Switch out of autofocus. Manual focus is mandatory. Ensure you are capturing in RAW format, not JPEG, so you have the maximum data for editing. Absolutely do not touch the camera while the shutter is open. Rely on your timer. And most importantly, do not get discouraged if the back of your camera doesn't look like a magazine cover in the field. That precious data is in there, it's just waiting for the edit. Well, that brings us to the end of our explainer. So, what does this all mean for you? It means the universe is a lot closer than you think. Are you ready to pack up your D7500, escape the glowing city lights of Chennai, and actually capture your own stunning piece of the cosmos? The stars are out there, they're waiting for you, and now you have the exact step-by-step blueprint to catch them. Grab your tripod, download those planning apps, and go make some magic in the dark. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and keep exploring.